Hi guys, it's Dr. Ndidi here. This is my first time I'm going live on YouTube, so this is definitely very different. I'm just gonna play around with some things. Try to see which no filter. Okay, anyways. But I'm excited to be here and um oops, I'm trying to get this out of my screen. Anyways, so I just wanted to come on here and say hi and introduce myself. My community has grown a lot, so I always love coming back to say hi. And this is my first live here on YouTube. So today I just wanted to talk about insulin resistance. And if in case you don't know me, like again, my name is Dr. Ndidi Eham. I am a licensed pharmacist here in Texas. I'm also a certified functional medicine and nutrition practitioner. So I love helping, especially women, reverse weight and fertility issues in natural ways without using medications to do that. So in so doing, I do have a program where I help women. It's a 12-week program, and we work together to, learn how to reverse PCOS and all those things in that line. PCOS is polycystic ovary syndrome. I'm also a mom of 3. I'm married, and you know, I love my family, and I also own my own pharmacy business here in Texas. So hence all the stuff you see behind me. We carry it here in the pharmacy. But anyways, I wanted to talk about insulin resistance because it's a very heavy concern when it comes to women who are suffering from PCOS, which is polycystic ovary syndrome. And a lot of people don't know that, maybe the weight issue they're experiencing, maybe the high androgen levels they're experiencing, maybe even the fertility issue they're experiencing has something to do with your insulin not working properly, aka insulin resistance. And so this could look very different for everybody, right? So some people might end up getting diabetes because they didn't take care of it on time. Some people might end up, being pre-diabetic, and some people it's just the weight they could never get rid of. And your doctor sometimes will say, "Oh, just go home and lose weight and come back in 6 months." A lot of people are not into that, and I've seen people who actually go on medications and they're taking a lot of things that their doctors have prescribed. And it's those medications where you kind of have to be on it, or you know you don't get the effect, or it doesn't get managed properly. But my solution and what I'm offering is trying to teach people actually how to reverse it naturally. So first of all, we need to find out what the root cause is, and then that's where functional medicine comes in. Why do you have issues with your insulin, and why is insulin very important for you to, try and figure out, okay, how do I take care of this? First of all, insulin is kind of like the driver in our bodies that, takes everything that we eat and takes it to the cells and organs that need it. But in instances where your insulin might not be working properly, it means all those things you eat stay high in your bloodstream, okay? So that's when you start saying high blood sugar, high blood pressure, high cholesterol in your blood, high insulin, all of those are because insulin decided not to work properly. So we need to get insulin working, and we need insulin to become sensitive. Hey guys, thank you for joining. And if you have any questions, make sure you go ahead and put it down below in the chat. I'll be sure to answer. And so essentially what you want to do is first try and see why your insulin is not working, what you could do about it. I always recommend like a good liver detox to cleanse out a lot of things that's backed up in your body. And after you've done that, now you have to start learning about nutrition and how to eat and food and things like that. Afterwards, then if you have PCOS, there are certain exercises that you cannot do. You need to focus on the kind of exercise that's good for your body, okay? And some people might need to supplement because there are some things that you might be missing in your diet where the supplement comes in. One of the ones that I do recommend all the time is this called Balance. That's essentially what the name is, Balance. And this helps your hormones to become very sensitive to what you're doing, making insulin. Insulin is also a hormone, in case you didn't know. So we need to bring our androgen levels down, estrogen level. Everything needs to be, at a certain ratio. And so that's kind of where that comes in. Berberine is also another one that's very important to help with, insulin resistance, losing weight, and things like that. We do carry it here in the pharmacy. So if you're needing something, just go ahead and drop a chat and I'll send you a link. But essentially, that is why your insulin is very important. Number one, for your insulin to be working correctly. Number two, it's also very important that your insulin is doing what it's supposed to do, right? And where your insulin is not working properly, your androgen levels or your testosterone levels will be high. As a woman, you don't want that, because that means you're going to be experiencing a lot of cystic acne, a lot of facial hair. They call it hirsutism. You might see some hair on your chest. You might not have a period, or your period is nowhere to be found, or it's just very long, or just you're having a lot of issues with your menstrual cycle. You might have issues conceiving. So now you start saying you're having fertility issues. Of course, it goes without saying, you might also have and experience weight issues as well. So just keep that in mind when you're focusing on, like, oh, I'm having hormone imbalance. Don't forget insulin, because insulin could also be the ringleader of that whole mess, okay? So when you are able to bring all those hormones back down, you're able to balance all of them, now things could start working properly the way they're meant to work and the way they're supposed to work, okay? And so it all starts with, of course, again, liver detoxing, eating right, learning the right things to eat and ones that you need to avoid. Once you get a system going, and I don't recommend like a harsh diet. I really don't like to tell people, and guys, if you have any questions, thank you for joining. If you have any questions, put it down below. I really don't like telling people to go on some kind of harsh diet, like, oh, don't eat proteins or eat only fats, or I'm not into that, because it's not sustainable. Most of the people I've seen who have done that end up going back to how they used to eat, because they find it so hard and they're not able to comprehend how they're supposed to sustain that way of eating. But if I told you, okay, you could eat this, but instead of eating that, let's substitute it out for something else. Instead of eating just, meats that are from wherever, why don't we just focus on eating grass-fed meat, or poultry that's, what do you call them? Cage-free, organic eggs, wild caught fish, like things like that. So you're not so restrictive on certain things that you could eat. And so it all starts with what we put in our mouth. That's how our body expresses what we've put in it in regards to nutrition. So it has to be nutritious. We have to be thinking about changing our lifestyle, not just like, oh, lifestyle occasion, like, oh, do you drink, do you smoke? No, I'm really talking about, are you exercising? How do you rest? How do you reduce stress? What are you eating? All of those are encompassing when it comes to wellness, because we're not just looking at, like, you at, like, oh, what did you present with? But we're looking at you from your mental all the way down to the sole of your feet, in fact, right? So that is all I have to say about insulin resistance today. I do hope you learned one or two things. I'm going to try and go more live on here. If y'all have any questions, put it in the comments. I'll be sure to come back. I'll make videos about it, or go live again. And hopefully next time y'all will be willing to ask me questions and communicate. I know this is the first time I'm going live, so everybody's still a little bit shy. It's okay. But I'm very active on my Instagram, and building a community here as well. So I don't see any other questions, so I will call it a day. I wish you a great day ahead. Have fun. Bye-bye.